If you fly fish, you know Trout Unlimited. But how much do you know about Trout Unlimited? The book that I'm going to share today is a great way to become acquainted with the most significant conservation work that the nation's preeminent cold water conservation organization has undertaken. We'll talk about that book today on Casting Across. Hi, I'm Matthew of castingacross.com, where I explore the quarry and culture of fly fishing. I've been a member of Trout Unlimited ever since I was a teenager, and it's been right there, and it's actually facilitated some of the most significant angling experiences I've had in my life. It was a local TU chapter's Fish with a Member program that first took me up in the mountains in Virginia to chase native brook trout. It was a TU youth camp that really opened my eyes to the opportunities and responsibilities that anglers have for conservation and community engagement. I later was able to just get plugged in with the fly fishing community because of becoming a director of that same youth camp. And then I was able to work nationwide with a group of men and women for youth engagement and outreach all through TU. And it was through some of these connections that I made that I learned about the book I'm talking about today, because one of my fly fishing mentors and one of the men who came up with the plan for the TU youth camps is one of the gentlemen that this book, Rivers of Restoration by John Ross, is dedicated to. It's dedicated to him, Mike Klimkos, as well as the late Dr. Jack Beck and Inky Moore. They were the men who came up with the PA camp, and then that pattern and model was taken nationwide. And he was also interviewed about his home waters, Kettle Creek, in this book. And that is what forms the bulk of this book. There's about 20 vignettes about different conservation projects and programs across the country. Montana's Bitterroot, Maine's Kennebec, Connecticut's Housatonic, all the way down into the Smokies in North Carolina and Tennessee, up into Alaska. All in this book, about 20 of these stories talking about kind of how the conservation work was done about 50 years ago and how it was done at the turn of the century. It's really interesting to see kind of the progression of how TU, as well as other conservation organizations, both through staff and volunteers, engaged in this different kind of work. It's one of the best things to see, along with the fact that this is a lot of stories of victory. It's a great book to read. It's a beautiful book. It's a big book. Why is it a big book? Well, it's because you're getting lots and lots of big, full-color photographs of some amazing places, some amazing work that has been done, historical photographs. This one's fantastic. It's Falling Springs, Pennsylvania. Just perfect south central PA limestone stream. Let's look at that. And then there's also some just great pictures of work kind of in progress at some of these TU projects. So it's a great book to read for that purpose. At the end, there's a short little synopsis of how TU came to be. There's more comprehensive resources for that elsewhere, but it's great that it's included in Rivers of Restoration. This book is out of print, but you can find it online pretty easily. It's not going to be the cheapest book to pick up, but if TU is an important part of your life, if you're interested in the history of fly fishing, particularly here in the United States and in the last few generations, I would say this is an essential read to pick up. It's a big book, though. It's not going to fit on most bookshelves. I only say that because I was excited to have some custom bookshelves built that would handle larger format books. And now Rivers of Restoration sits with its spine facing outward as opposed to flat like it had for years and years on my other bookshelves. But that's neither here nor there. That's why you shouldn't buy or not buy a book based upon its size. Don't judge a book by its cover or its cover dimensions. Do you fish in one of these places? If you've read this book or you see the table of contents online, if you fish in the Catskills, or do you fish up in the Driftless or out in some of the famous waters in Montana that this book talks about conservation projects in, let me know in the comments below. Then head over to castingacross.com for 3 posts a week on the people, places, and things that go into the pursuit of fish.